Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the course of Computer Organization and Assembly Language. This is our first lecture. So we will introduce the course and the textbook that we will follow and little bit in introduction to the structure and function of the computers. So let's get started. The textbook we will follow will be the Assembly Language Programming and Organization of the IBM PC by Yathayu. This book will be used for the assembly language programming, computer organization and architecture by William Stelling. This book will help us in understanding the computer organization. The two reference books are also very useful. There are Intel microprocessor covering a wide variety of Intel microprocessor by Barry B. Bray, and the Irwin book of assembly language is also very useful in assembly language programming. The main objective of the course is to understand the organization of computer system and to write assembly language programs for different applications for optimization and control. You will be thinking that why we, we will study the assembly language. All of because C++ or C programming is helpful for wide variety of applications, but assembly language will be helpful in for optimization, and assembly language programming will be helpful for control of the real-time applications, dealing with the simulation and hardware monitoring, and also if you are programming for embedded system, there will be short programs stored in small amount of memory. So like a single purpose devices such as telephones, automobile, fuel and ignition systems, air conditioning systems, assembly language is an ideal tool for writing embedded programs. So this is first application of assembly language, that is writing program for embedded applications, for real-time applications, for computer game console, and also the main advantage of assembly language is to understand the how computer works. It will help you to gain overall understanding of the interaction between computer hardware, operating system, and the application programs. We will discuss in detail about the assembly language. Question arises that what is the difference between computer organization and architecture? So architecture, as the name suggests, is the is refer to those attributes of the system that are visible to programmer, those attributes that have direct impact on the logical execution of program. Let's suppose we want to make a house. First of all, we go to the architecture. He will design the different portions of the house. So similarly, the architecture refers to those attributes that are accessible or visible to you, means programmer, like how much will be the instruction set, how will be the number of bits for different types, and these this architecture is designed before the hardware. So after the architecture has been designed, computer organization comes into play, refer to operational unit and their interconnections that realize their architectural specifications. For example, the hardware details transparent to programmers, such as control signals, interference between computer and peripherals, memory technology used. So these attributes are not visible to the programmer. So now we will discuss the structure and function. A computer is a complex system containing millions of small electronic components. So the hierarchical nature of complex system is essential to both their design and description. Hierarchy means the components and their interconnections. So the behavior at each level depends only on simplified abstracted characterization of the system at the next lower level. At each level, the designer is concerned with structure and function. What is structure? Structure is basically the way in which the components are interrelated, while the function is the operation of each individual component as part of the structure. In terms of description, we have two choices. Starting at the bottom and building up the computer description, this is called the or top down approach. That means that viewing from top component and moving to the lower components. We begin with the major components of a computer, describing their structure and function, and proceed to successively lower levels of the hierarchy. We will follow top to down approach, never in this. So CPU, in CPU or central processing unit, we have ALU, arithmetic and logic unit, control unit, I/O devices, and memory. These are the four basic components of a computer. This is the top level of computer. Peripherals, the devices that are used to give input or take output. Communication lines for communicating with other computer. Computer have four main components. CPU that will process all the CPU will control all the operation of computer and performs its data processing function. We will simply call it processor. Main memory that stores data. I/O input output that moves data between the computer and its external environment. System interconnection is the mechanism that provides for communication among CPU, main memory, and input and output. A common example of system interconnection is by means of system bus consisting of a number of conducting wires to which all other components are attached. Now we will discuss CPU. In CPU we have registers, ALU, internal CPU interconnection, and control unit. Control unit controls the operation of CPU and hence the computer. ALU performs the computer's data processing function. Registers provide storage internal to the CPU, and CPU interconnections are the mechanism that provides for communication among the control unit, ALU, and registers. Each of these components will be discussed in detail in next lectures. Now we'll discuss the control unit. There are several approaches to the implementation of control unit. One common approach is microprogram implementation. A microprogram control unit operates by executing micro instructions that define the functionality of control unit. Here, few components of the control unit that are sequencing logic, control unit registers and decoder, and control memory are shown. Function of typical computer. There are three basic functions of a computer. Each computer will have these functions that are data movement, data storage, and data processing. The computer must be able to process data. The data may take a wide variety of forms. The range of processing requirements is broad. However, we'll see that there are only a few fundamental methods or types of data processing. It is essential that computer stores data. Even if the computer is processing data on the fly, that is data coming in and get processed and the result go out, the computer must temporarily store data. Similarly, data movement is also an important part of the computer function. Computer must be able to move data between itself and the outside world. So this is our today's discussion of the course. In next video, we will discuss about the computer history and also the number systems. Thank you.